Welcome to a journey through time across the vast Eurasian landmass, a region that has long served as a crossroads for human migration, cultural exchange, and explosive conflict. From prehistoric hunters to medieval empires, and from imperial expansion to modern-day disputes, the intertwined histories of Russia and Ukraine reveal shocking layers of conquest, unity, and division. Today, we trace these transformative epics to expose how raw political ambition, cultural clashes, and selective historical memory continue to shape the region's identity and geopolitics. This balanced narrative dares you to explore the achievements, brutal struggles, and enduring legacies that have defined these contested lands over millennia. Prehistoric and ancient times. Our story begins around 40,000 BCE, when early humans, and even Neanderthals, roamed the open steppes of what we now call Russia and Ukraine. In these boundless landscapes, tribes exploited the land's vast resources as they migrated, hunted, and gathered. With the Neolithic Revolution around 6000 BCE, nomadic bands transitioned to cultivating crops and domesticating animals, laying the very foundation of civilization. By 3000 BCE, the Yamna culture emerged on these expansive plains, pioneering innovations like horseback riding and metallurgy that spread Indo-European languages and customs. Meanwhile, in the 7th century BCE, Greek city-states such as Olbia and Chersonesus burst onto the scene, ushering in trade, art, and ideas that forged early and sometimes ruthless connections between East and West. Kievan Rus, the first shared state. Between the 5th and 9th centuries CE, restless Slavic tribes transformed these fertile plains as fragmented communities coalesced into a mighty state, Kievan Rus. In 862 CE, the Varangian chieftain Rurik seized power in Novgorod, igniting a spark that would evolve into an empire. By 882 CE, Oleg shifted the center to Kyiv, turning it into a buzzing trade hub that linked Scandinavia, Byzantium, and the East. The dramatic watershed came in 988 CE, when Prince Vladimir the Great boldly embraced Byzantine Christianity, uniting diverse peoples under one spiritual banner. This conversion not only revolutionized art, literature, and law, but also laid the provocative foundations for both Russian and Ukrainian national narratives, a legacy that still fuels fierce debates today. The Mongol invasion and Moscow's rise. In 1240, Mongol forces stormed Kyiv, delivering a cataclysmic blow that shattered the unity of Kievan Rus and ushered in over 2 centuries of brutal Golden Horde rule. Although the invasion left devastation and deep political scars, it also introduced innovative military and administrative tactics that would later be adopted by emerging Russian powers. As the Mongol grip loosened, Moscow began its meteoric rise. Under Ivan III, who in 1480 defiantly ended tribute payments, Moscow laid the groundwork for a centralized state. At the same time, the western regions of modern Ukraine increasingly came under the sway of Polish and Lithuanian influence, setting the stage for a complex cultural mosaic and future divisions that continue to spark controversy. The Russian Empire and Ukrainian lands. As the Russian czars expanded their realms, imperial ambitions led to the ruthless absorption of Ukrainian territories through relentless warfare and cunning diplomacy. Under the visionary reforms of Peter the Great, Russia rapidly modernized, symbolized by the founding of St. Petersburg in 1703, a bold move toward European dominance. Later, Catherine the Great further extended Russian influence, by annexing Crimea in 1783, a controversial act that cemented imperial control over the South. Yet, these grand imperial projects were paired with aggressive Russification policies that clashed with Ukraine's deeply rooted cultural identity, sowing the seeds of nationalist fervor and bitter disputes that continue to fuel controversy today. Soviet rule and World War II. The 20th century upended centuries of tradition with revolution and bloodshed. In 1917, the Russian Empire crumbled, giving birth to the Soviet Union in 1922, a radical experiment that reshaped the region. Under Stalin's iron fist, forced collectivization sparked the horrific Holodomor famine of 1932-33, obliterating millions in Ukraine and leaving indelible scars. Then came World War II, where the Eastern Front turned into one of history's most savage battlefields. The immense sacrifices made by Soviet forces to defeat Nazi Germany in 1945 redefined national boundaries and collective memory. This era of rapid industrialization and brutal repression still ignites fierce debates over historical responsibility and identity. Independence and modern conflict. After the Soviet collapse in 1991, Ukraine and Russia went their separate ways. Ukraine embraced independence, chasing European integration and democratic reforms, while Russia reasserted its identity by stressing historical, cultural, and security concerns. In 2014, Russia controversially annexed Crimea, claiming it was protecting ethnic Russians and securing its Black Sea naval assets amid a coup in Ukraine, with allegations of U.S. interference. Then, in 2022, Russia launched a military intervention in eastern Ukraine, arguing that NATO's eastward push and internal unrest left it no choice. Today, Trump's revived peace talks, widely seen as favoring Russian interests without real input from Europe or Ukraine, have reopened old wounds. This chapter reveals the explosive clash of historical narratives and the relentless tug-of-war over power and identity. From prehistoric migrations to modern battlefields, the history of Russia and Ukraine is a rich, controversial tapestry of conquest, culture, and identity. By examining these layered narratives, from early human settlements and the rise of Kievan Rus to imperial ambitions, Soviet rule, and today's explosive conflicts, we gain a provocative insight into how past events continue to shape our present. Understanding this legacy is crucial if we are to learn from history and forge a future of mutual respect amid relentless rivalry. If you found this exploration eye-opening, like, subscribe, and join the heated debate.